What's up, my fellow Shadow Knights? It's your friendly neighborhood KC Shadow here with one more video. Actually, I hope you enjoy this. Let me just fix this here so you can see this beauty here too. Okay, everything's showing now, I believe. Alright. Basically, this video is gonna just be an idea, you know, kind of like a interesting movie idea I have for Duel Monsters. All right, we've seen a lot of like new characters who are the antagonists, you know, but just bear with me, okay? There's a lot of characters I'm sure people miss seeing, want to see, decks that certain characters had that people just liked seeing be used. Alright? What if? Now, it's an idea that I could see possible in any way, shape, or form, but if you've, ahead of time, spoiler alert, if you have not seen Duel of Dimensions, so after hearing me say spoiler, I hope you understand that if you continue to watch this, you're going to know the end of the Yugioh movie. So, Duel Between Different Dimensions, you know, basically, now that I have explained a spoiler alert and whatever, yada, 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 I'm going to explain to you the end. Okay, so the movie ends with Seto Kaiba, it looks like, finds a way to go back in time and duel Pharaoh Atem, okay? Or to other people, Yami Yugi. I prefer his actual name, Pharaoh Atem. Like, Yami Yugi was cool and all, but once you find out it's Pharaoh Atem, then you're just like, you know what? Atem works. Pharaoh Atem is his name. Yami Yugi's over now, okay? He's Pharaoh Atem. But, basically, what if they continue it? Like, I know I brought up an idea of it being a TV show, but what if that idea, you know, it's just scrapped and everybody's like, dude, your idea, it has a value to succeed. It has its perks. It has a lot that can make it work, but we're not into that, you know? Well, what if, because he chose to go back in time, maybe he wasn't supposed to, and he forced something that did an altering to the timeline itself, allowing a lot of changes, maybe a new character here and there, but what if your main protagonist becomes, yet again, the man who caused it, not intentionally, but Seto Kaiba, but then he realizes he needs help. He can't fight the new antagonist alone. And then when you find out who the antagonist is, it's because after his duel with Yugi, oh wait, not Yugi, but Pharaoh Atem, somehow, some way, that alter to the timeline brought a darkness that took possession, like literally possesses Pharaoh Atem, turning him pure evil. Our beloved protagonist becoming the beloved antagonist. A big, what a twist, you know? And to make things right and to turn him good, Seto Kaiba has to duel, but it gets worse. Not only can he go into timelines now, so can Atem. Because of the power of some dark being who takes possession of him has power. Okay? So then you find out you got not one, not two, but three antagonists at the same time. So Kaiba has to get three protagonists. Wait, it gets better, okay? Your antagonists become Pharaoh Atem, Jeitin Yuki, and Yusei Fudo. You just see synchros, fusions, and Pharaoh Tem, he can ritual and fusion, so. But what if it also ends on a cliffhanger, okay? But we'll get to that eventually, okay? So Seto has to basically go to the future now. The bad guy already did, okay? Didn't really have to do much for Jade and Yuki. He could have just, at any moment. But anywho, on track. You get to see Seto Kaiba team up with Jack Atlas to knock some sense into Yusei, You see the Blue Eyes crew versus the Dark Magician crew. 3000s versus 25. Makes it difficult too, okay? This is where you're gonna see. This will be when Seto actually beats the Pharaoh. Say the Pharaoh won the duel, okay? Like, let's just say in the beginning of the movie, it's just him, he's talking to the Pharaoh. They get ready to duel. They're dueling. Say the Pharaoh won, and in the midst of him going to shake his hand, he gets possessed and pushes the hand instead, and Seto realizes it's not the Pharaoh anymore. Like, instantly the villain reveals himself only as, not its actual name, but we're gonna say he just states he is the darkness that was gotten rid of, but not forever, or something, Like, let's just put it as, he states, I am that darkness that one stopped years ago, but I have returned, and now I know my way to succeeding and bringing the world into darkness and engulfing it my way. And then you find out in the end it's Night Shroud, and he makes a return, okay? So you're not just seeing, you're not just gonna see Jack Atlas and Kaiba. You're gonna see, instead of just one, maybe they get Aster Phoenix or something. When it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, it's the harder one to understand. Who is the Seto Kaiba in an aspect? Is it Crowler, Chaz? Is it Zane, or is it Aster? I mean, all of them could technically be the Seto. There's no, it just don't make sense, It's hard to choose, because all of them have a 3000 attacking monster, first off. But Seto versus only so many times. When it comes to me, it's hard to choose, but when I see GX, I look at, because everybody has the Seto Kaiba kind of related in an aspect picture of a character. There's always the underdog Joey Wheeler kind of character. There's always the main protagonist, and then there's that guy who's like Kaiba in a way. The way I see it, it could be either Zane, Crowler, or, in my opinion, probably Aster Phoenix. Isn't one do, but some people do. I don't. So my third pick's Chaz. When I think about it, I see more likely it being Chaz or Dr. Crowler, though. The reason why I don't add Zane is because of the fact his ace monster isn't a 3000 or a 4500. Cyber End Dragon's 4000, if I stand corrected, and Cyber Dragon's only 21. He honestly could do good against Kaiba, I could say, but let's just say, okay, for those of you who actually watch anime in Japanese, if you know GX ends by defeating Night Shroud, not Yubel, then you know what I'm about to explain. Or if you watch the final season, the real final season of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Zane passes on his deck to his brother. Cyrus runs the Roids and the Cyber Dark Dragons. Reason why is because the Cyber Darks didn't want to be evil. They wanted to be cured. I'm sorry I didn't spoil alert use ahead of time, but I warned you in the beginning there will be spoiler alert. I didn't mean just the one, honestly. Actually, I probably did. I'm bad at phrasing, but spoiler alert already happened. Sorry. My apologies. Anywho, basically Zane states he was gonna build a new deck, and he ain't quitting dueling. He's just gotta refresh himself because of the dark within his heart that was killing him. Well, what if Zane comes back with a new deck and we get a new archetype, but you find out it's not a cyber ogre, it's not a cyber dragon, but it's still a machine deck. We're gonna probably keep the machines going, okay? Or what if it's not even a machine deck at all? We bring out what came before the cyber dragons. Why not call it like Dragon Experiments or experiment dragon number 1 or whatever? Like, try to make it look like they're the cyber dragons before they were robotic. Like, make them look like they were once dragons, and everybody just gets their mind blown like, what? I want to build this deck. It does just about the same as Cyber Dragon. Some of the monsters will probably be not the original attack as a Cyber Dragon. Some might be more than others. Like maybe Cyber Dragon becomes, like, instead of a level 5/21 attacker, it originally was a dragon level 7 or level 8 that you can, discard cyber one of it, the same name or something. Who knows? Like, add a weird twist to the effect, make them like, I kind of like the idea of keep them just the same levels, similar effects, just a little altered and whatnot. But you know what I mean, what I'm trying to get at. Well, back on the track of, okay, Kaiba gets 2 heroes to help him because 2 heroes were turned evil by Night Shroud, and now Night Shroud has, like, say they introduce an elemental hero, Dark Neos, or a Night Shroud, or Neo, like an elemental hero, Corrupt Neos, and then the evil hero deck, since they're coming out with some new archetypes, instead of it being elemental heroes, you get evil heroes again. But with the Neospatians, they're not just any Neospatian now. They're a corrupt form. Okay? You actually see them become corrupt finally. And, like, maybe it's Neospatian corrupt Aqua Dolphin, corrupt Hummingbird, Like, they just have the word corrupt in it. Or evil Neospatian or something. Or maybe they're not even in the deck except for the one. Because honestly, I don't like seeing the Neospatians get turned evil. That actually would probably break my heart. So maybe you just get the evil heroes, and the only one of the Neos family is elemental hero Corrupt Neos becomes a thing. But maybe instead of corrupt, they call it evil hero Neos instead. Like, it's a corrupt elemental hero Neos. And instead of just making it drastic, instead of it being a black elemental hero Neos, instead, why not reverse the color pattern? Like, wherever the white is, it's now where the red is. Like, it's a red body. The little bit of red is now the white, and the blue just stays the same. Or reverse the blue and the red for the spots. And where if I stand correct, he has like a gem, like, on his chest, like his pectoral, like, make that black. And his eyes black. And have like a negative black aura with hints of gray and white around it. Alright. When it comes to Stardust Dragon, let's say you don't see Stardust when he gets turned evil. Let's say he is dueling. You say duels to not get corrupt. Like, the new evil form of Atem, because he's possessed, has to duel them first to corrupt them. And let's just say you don't get a big duel between him and Jaden, because they're not trying to show the Neospatians and the elemental heroes. They're trying to show you the evil heroes have returned. You see him as like the armor and everything, like he is back. And then, maybe when they duels Yusei, though, before Yusei gets possessed, maybe he tosses Stardust to Jack. Maybe the Jack, Crow, and the gang are all watching this duel and they're trying to stop it or join in, and he's saying, no, don't get involved. I don't want yous corrupt too or something, you know? And maybe before the duel, like Crimson Dragon speaks to him and tells him, do not use Stardust at all in the duel. Give it to Jack. Like maybe even before the duel hits, I feel he would toss Stardust Dragon up to Jack and be like, I want it back when you save me. Like Yusei already knows he's gonna lose, but he's gonna fight with all he's got to see and let his friends know what they can and can't do, okay? Maybe Kaiba then goes in and doesn't just grab Jack. Maybe he gets Crow and Jack. Maybe we're gonna see Crow, Joey Wheeler, and Cyrus, all three of them, try to fight them first. And maybe you get to see some of the new Red Eyes stuff, like Gearfried and Slash Dragon and that. Maybe we're going to see some new Cyber Dark stuff with a mix of some of his roids, but make them like a Cyber Dark roid cards. Like only a few roids were turned Cyber Dark, and they're a light and dark attribute now. Like maybe they add those as the light ones because that's how they did it. The balance was the roids made that Cyrus was pure of heart when it came to, he was meant to. He was actually a chosen one for the Cyber Legacy. He was for the Cyber Darks. He was the only one that can not be corrupted by the deck. So what if you get to see that? Maybe they bring out, I'd say at least 10 or 11, maybe 13, or like not a whole drastic deck. Like make most of the deck your beloved cards you know for the Cyber Darks, but make like 10 or 11 couple of Cyber Dark roids. Like maybe there's Cyber Dark Drill roids, Cyber Dark, you know, Police roid and Ambulance roid, and a couple of those. You know, like your commons, they're just turned Cyber Dark. And they're the goodness of the Cyber Dark, and like they support them, and they're treated as both a dark and a light attribute, and any Cyber Dark monster is changed into a dragon and a light, and are treated as dark and light in the graveyard, you know? Like that would be a really cool way to do it. I'm pretty sure I'd probably get the Cyber Darks banned because of this idea, but I don't care. This is really cool. I wouldn't want to see them banned. I love them. They're a good challenge to verse sometimes. But maybe we'll see that. Maybe maybe a new card for Stardust and Red Dragon become. Like maybe Red Dragon Archfiend and Stardust Dragon have a fusion for this movie. Like they're the only ones that get a new fusion, you know, like the only new fusion for the protagonist, you know, like is Stardust and Red Dragon fused together and create, you know, like the Stardust Archfiend Dragon, or the Red Star, like the Star Archfiend Dragon actually sounds pretty cool. Instead of Stardust Archfiend, I feel like it would be this Red Stardust Dragon would be a cool one. That'd be pretty cool. Something like that, you know? And maybe it just has both the effects of Red Dragon and Stardust or something. Or like the best you can tweak both effects into one effect, maybe, or something. And if it's destroyed by card effect or battle, you can bring back a Stardust and a Red Dragon from your grave or extra deck, but they cannot attack for the turn they are special summoned that way. And one of them has their effects negated by your choice. Your smart decision would be Red Dragon probably during that duel or something. I don't know. It's just an idea. Okay. Maybe it's not Red Dragon. Maybe you do need to stop Stardust from having the effect. Who knows? Okay, and maybe Kaiba uses the twin burst, the two-headed blue eyes. Maybe we see a fusion for Red Eyes with Joey Wheeler. Maybe Kaiba says before they even duel, he hands Joey a card and he's like, I don't want to have to help you, but I have no choice, but Pegasus told me to hand you that. Maybe we get a little view of Pegasus for a bit, and he's like, I've created each of you, like, each, like for Kaiba and Joey at least. Like maybe he's like, I have created for you and Joey Boy each a new card to add to your deck. And of course, you're gonna probably hear him eventually say Kaiba Boy, and he hands the Red Eyes Ultimate Dragon. A movie would be perfect to introduce it with how long we have waited for such, okay? And in all honesty, because it'd be a movie, you're going to expect it to be more than 3,000 attack. Okay, when I think of if they ever do make a Red Eyes Ultimate, the way I've seen is we have 35 as our highest right now for Red Eyes' fusions. Well, what if we change that 35 to a 42? 42 backwards? I mean, like, because all you have to do is switch the 2 and the 4, it's 2,400. So 4,200. Maybe have it as an effect that, you need 3 Red Eyes Black Dragons. Just like Blue Eyes Ultimate needs 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, okay? But maybe Joey gets 2. Maybe Joey is handed a Red Eyes Ultimate and a Red Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon. Okay, so maybe Red Eye's Ultimate Dragon has no effect. Well, I feel they would probably give him a semi-effect, and that would probably be if this card is destroyed by... I feel it can't be too overpowered because there's an alternative that I brought up. So if Red Eye's Ultimate Dragon is destroyed by battle or card effect, I feel it would be card effect more than battle, honestly. Maybe both. Then you get the special summon in defense position, 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon. Like, that would be a pretty good way. Like, you get to defend yourself at least, because that would bring out Red Eyes isn't giving up. What Red Eyes is supposed to mean is he finds a different way to win than being strong. He has strategy his own way, And Blue Eye, maybe we get a card from maybe Kaiba's new card from Pegasus isn't just for Kaiba. Maybe Pegasus says, but your card, Kaiba Boy, you have to understand to give up a grudge and a hatred for a young Joey Boy or something, something like that. And then you find out it is a fusion. Like, the only way they win is, like, you see Jack is trying to save Yusei, and Crow is trying to help save Yusei. Joey and Kaiba are trying to save Pharaoh Atem, while, Cyrus and... I honestly feel it would be Cyrus and Chaz. I would love to see the Ojamas get new support, or the Armed Dragons, but I don't know. In my opinion, how I would do it for the movie is they try to get Chaz, but Chaz is not being a jerk. It's just he's too busy. He can't do it. Maybe he's starting to take his brothers and his family's business. Like, he's in the process. Like, he's growing up. He's realizing, I gotta run my brother's business so it doesn't go down the drain. Maybe he's trying to make it a good positive, and then combines it with Kaiba's in the future or something. Maybe that's his goal, at least. He didn't really combine it yet. And maybe he, they're like, then who do we get? And maybe Dr. Crowler says, I got students to teach, but here's a number. And then you find out they involve Aster Phoenix, and then they involve the new Destiny heroes that have come out, That would be a good way to bring up value for them too, technically. And maybe introduce one more new Destiny hero. Maybe it's not even a monster, but a Destiny hero card that, like, you can only use if it's up against an elemental hero, or no, not even an elemental hero, but if a Destiny hero battles with another hero monster besides a Destiny hero. Like, that would be an interesting quick play spell or something. Like, maybe that's how they help save him or something for Jade and Yuki. But maybe, like, there's new cards that get involved. Like, maybe Cyrus and Aster fuse a Destiny hero with a cyber dark dragon, and then maybe like, maybe Crow adds his Blackwing Dragon to a fusion with the Stardust and the Archwing. Okay, maybe it's a fusion between 3 Crimson Dragon monsters. Like maybe you need 3 Dragon Synchros for it. It doesn't have to be. Like maybe on the card it states you can use either Ancient Fairy, Black Rose, Stardust, Red Dragon, or Black Winged, or Void Ogre Dragon to summon, or Power Tool Dragon to summon this dragon. Maybe it's another form of Crimson Dragon. The reason why I bring up Void Ogre, by the way, is in the manga, Callum Kessler becomes a signer, and his signer dragon is actually Void Ogre Dragon, if you're wondering. That is why I brought up Void Ogre Dragon. Anywho, that's a spoiler alert for you. Now you gotta read manga because it's not in the show, it's not in a movie, it's in the mangas. Yeah. You gotta read to find out now. I think that's the one where they introduce Infernity Queen in. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I read. But I do know Void Ogre Dragon is technically a signer dragon. Like, I like 2 dragons of the signers, and that's Stardust and Void. Interesting, huh? Because they're also the signer dragons that belong to Yusei and Callan, and they're like best friends. Anywho, back on track. Like, maybe you see new cards between ace monsters or somewhat ace monsters. Like, Blue Eyes fusing with Red Eyes? Like, come on. Come on. You gotta admit, eventually that grudge between, like, that rivalry between Kaiba and Joey have to come on a pause. Saving the Pharaoh would be a perfect way to do it. Like, maybe the Pharaoh, like the possessed evil Pharaoh Tem, did something to prevent little Yugimoto from even joining. Maybe he's a hostage. Maybe he's in a dark sphere of darkness, and other characters are in it too. Like maybe there's that, because that's how it happened with Night Shroud anyway, and Yugioh GX. Like bringing him back would be an interesting way, and you wouldn't expect it either. Because if I stand corrected, he's not gone forever. He can come back another, I think it's a couple thousand years or so. Or a couple of years. Maybe he finds a way to do it sooner, though. Like, maybe it's not just him, too. Maybe it's not just darkness. Maybe it's in between light and dark. The evil light that was possessing Sartorius maybe combines with Night Shroud, and they become, like, I don't know, Dusk Dawn Shroud or something like that. I don't know. Maybe they just go by the light, like maybe they call them Light Shroud. Like it's a new form. It's a new them. And they fight between each other at times. Like, and that's what they use to get to the real person. Like maybe they're like, while they're distracted arguing, maybe we can get into the head, because maybe Yusei, Jaden, and Pharaoh Tem are fighting it off mentally, but it's just so strong and powerful. Maybe he involves Zork somehow too. That would be an interesting way. Like, I feel the cliffhanger would be a way to bring out more to the series. Like maybe Zork returns, or maybe there's a villain that gets added, okay, and they're trying to bring back Zork, and then they need little Bakura to save the day. But that's another idea for another day. Back on track though. Like, just think of it. That would be an interesting way of a movie though. Instead of your stereotypical everybody knows they're a protagonist, flip the table, toss it up and be like, fuck you guys, we love yous and your characters, but we're gonna so mess with you guys' heads. You're gonna love and hate your favorite characters and not know how to feel. You're gonna have mixed emotions. Your favorite protagonists are gonna give you butterflies and bee stings at the same time. You're not gonna know if you can like them, dislike them, or what. Like, you're gonna be sorrowy for them as well. Like, there's gonna be butterflies, there's gonna be the bee stings, but in there's also gonna be like a scared little ladybug. Like, what the hell do I do? Like, and it's just trying to get away. And there you find out that it's using things like mental and past things to keep the control. Like, maybe they have to accept their failures more and more and realize you have to learn from your losses, which is a very famous thing that Kaiba teaches. He doesn't just sulk and quit dueling. He betters his, improves, does research, and 5 billion other things to keep trying to find a new way to win. Instead of being butthurt for losing, he gets butthurt for a little bit and then thinks about it and learns, wow, I fucked up. I'm going to get rid of this card. I'm going to put new cards. I'm going to get cards created. I'm going to do this and that. And then I'm going to try again. He's going to keep trying until he succeeds. He learns from losing instead of fucking quitting and crying about it and complaining, saying, oh, I could have won with this. No, he goes, you know what? I accept I lost. You know what? I didn't have my full game here because I wasn't thinking straight during the duel. All I was thinking of was beating you. Maybe he finds out all this time he's lost because he's stuck with thinking, oh, you're always better than me. He has to let go to defeat. And maybe Joey's the one who helps him realize it too. And maybe Joey's like, maybe we see like a couple new cards for Joey too. Like maybe there's a Red Eyes dice card. Like, cause I'm sorry, I just want to see a Skull dice turn Red Eyes, because Skull Dice is like the coolest fucking trap card ever that Joey has. I plan to get that tattooed. Actually, I want that as another. That might become my next tattoo. I've been wanting tattoos again. I've been dying for new ink. But back on track. Like, just think, like, that's just my idea. Like, a cool idea. Like, what the Konami and whatnot. Like, what everyone could do to, like, see the ending of that movie. Add, like, a big what? And a big whoa, a big cheer. You see all the cards you love. You see new cards for the cards you love. You see some oldies. You see some news. Maybe they even unban a card, and to let you know they're unbanning it, they include one. Maybe they do what they did in the past. Add one oldie. Everything else is like, you obviously know, but add one oldie that is on your ban list in real life, and they'll just like, look what we brought back. In all honesty, I would like to see at least 2 or 3, preferably 2, just so it's not too many. But one, I have to say, needs to be Pot of Greed, because GX, they're famous for one card in particular, and that's Pot of Greed. Like, maybe you can only use one Pot of Greed per duel is added to the card text. That would, like you and your opponent is listed on the card. That way, like, it's not you, like, I mean, like, all they need to do is state you can only activate one Pot of Greed per duel, stating the person who used the card. That means your opponent still can play a Pot of Greed, technically, okay? But, like, like, get creative. Bring back cards people have been dying to see. Maybe we see, like, I don't know, maybe Ancient Fairy Dragon gets released off the ban list back to 1. Honestly, they should never have banned it. It's a main character's card. It's a protagonist's card. And it really hurt me and a few people. But, like, maybe Ancient Fairy makes an appearance at least. And it's just a little teaser hint. Like, people were just like, oh, yeah, it's Ancient Fairy. You're going to see that. But in reality, what they don't expect is Ancient Fairy is getting removed, maybe. That would be a good way to tell the fans, we found a way to at least use all your Crimson Dragon stuff back, like, in full. So, it's just ideas. Like, if I have ideas about it, I want to bring that to the world and hope that helps. But let's call this an end of the video. Fist Bomba Llama. And remember, soar the stars and duel your hearts out, and don't ever give up. The duel's not over till the last card's played. But Remember to rev it up, enjoy this video. If you loved it, if you did enjoy it, hit that like button and set a card face down in defense position and let me know what you thought of my idea. If you would like to comment below as well, and if you want more, there will be more eventually. Thank yous, have a wonderful day, and see you later! Momentai!